What's up, guys? I'm back again for a bit of a late night LFC stream, a bit of a catch up after the game. We've just finished recording tonight's post-match point podcast. That's been uploaded to YouTube as we speak. It's out on all the podcast players, on Spotify, iTunes, Acast, Podbean, Castbox, whatever your Podbean or whatever your pod app of choice is. It's up there now. I hope you enjoy it. Time to come on, late night stream, see what the guys think, see how everyone reacted to the Reds' magnificent 3-1 win over Torino. Jurgen Klopp and the team's final post-match game or pre-season game of this particular warm-up. I'm really looking forward to having a chat with the guys, see who's going to make it for the 11 next week against West Ham. Apologies, a bit of an odd intro there. Sorry, I've been distracted a little bit. Going to go straight into the chat. Jack Main, who'll be the penalty taker this season? It's a really good question. I would have said Sadio Mane, Jack, before tonight, but it's a good question. I honestly don't know. Who do you think? I'm probably still going to stick with Mane, but I don't know. World Class says hello. Joseph, Louis, Liverpool fan, Killer for Hire, Louis again, Stephen McDonough, Darren Moore and Frankie, World Class again. Thomas, how the hell are you? I'm back on again. We recorded the podcast. I looked at the clock. I said, you know what, I've got a little bit of time left. Let's jump back on, do a bit of a late night stream with the guys. See if we can't get this figure closer to the 3k, because I'm really working my ass off trying to get us to that 3k. So the post-match point podcast, guys, it's been uploaded now to the YouTube channel as we speak. So as we finish this stream, that should be there ready, waiting to go for you. I hope you enjoy it. It was myself, Connor and Dave having a chat about the game. Stephen says, hiya Craig, love you. Hiya mate, I love you too. Thomas says, well, part 2. Craig, didn't know you were coming back. Honestly, Joseph, mate, either did I. I had no plans on it. It was just something I did in the spur of the moment. I said, fuck it, let's jump back on and have a chat with the guys again. Because I didn't get to talk to so many people during that stream. I felt bad that I missed so many comments, and it really bugs me when I don't get a chance to jump in and talk to everybody properly. El Chapo said, Craig, back again, you animal. Yeah, I didn't get enough eggy nonce abuse the first time around, so I thought, I need some more eggy nonce abuse. So yeah, here I am for the eggy nonce abuse, so bring it on, why not? Bailey said, hiya Craig, Johnny Longlegs, just about to listen to your podcast, but hey, a bonus. Well, it will be there, Johnny mate, when you're finished, and it'll be ready to go on YouTube as well. Let me just check the progress on it actually on YouTube. Yeah, it's pretty much done on the YouTube. So yeah, it should be up there soon for you guys as well. Ryan said, if I could subscribe twice, I would. I get you, buddy. I get you. Jack's gone for probably Mane for the penalties. I thought Fabinho because he was dead composed and hadn't missed many, but tonight he missed, so I'm a bit unsure. It is unfortunate, Jack, isn't it, that Fabinho was at Monaco. He scored 12 penalties out of 12. He comes to Liverpool, decides, you know what, this could be the opportunity for me to get off the mark for the Reds, and unfortunately just puts it wide of the post. It's just typical luck, isn't it? I've got to be honest though, I'd love one of our strikers to be taking him just to help their goal tally. So for me, it'll be Mane, and you seem to be agreeing with that one, buddy. What did I think of Fabinho? Said Stephen McDonough. I thought he was very, very good tonight. I actually thought it was one of his better performances of pre-season. If we can park up the penalty miss, which can happen to anybody, I've said this before, you never blame somebody for missing a penalty. Yeah, he probably at least could have got it on target, but you know, that parked that aside. I thought he didn't let his head drop. I thought he showed for the ball all the time. His positional sense seemed to be really, really good. He wasn't afraid to step forward when he needed to, but always room for improvement, Stephen, mate, like with anybody. But I've been very impressed with what I've seen of him so far, and hopefully you have as well. Louis said, Klopp on transfers, incomings and outgoings, we will see. I have no idea what will happen in the next 2 days. Yeah, Kloppo's letting us know there. He's giving us a little nod and a wink. That's what I'm taking from that anyway, Louis. Joseph said, there was I thinking I had a night of, I was just going to jump in for a little bit of a Paddy Power. Well, here I am, mate. Don't let me stop you losing money on Paddy Power. By all means, jump on there later on. Great to have you back, Joseph, though. Thank you for joining, buddy. Thomas Boland said, Craig is budding 10 cans of Diet Chav later. I'm not going to lie, I've been through a few of them. I have been through a few cans of Diet Chav, but you know me at this point. Liverpool fans said, I listened to all your podcasts. Thank you, mate, and I think you'll enjoy in the new season, because we're going to ramp up the podcasts, we're going to ramp up the team, we're probably going to bring on some more team members, because Anfield Agenda is growing and growing quickly with podcasts and YouTube content that we want to make. We're going to have to bring on more contributors, so the Anfield Agenda family of contributors will probably expand very soon, and you'll hear more new voices, and you'll probably get more content as well. Aaron said it's going to be a long 48 hours for Edwards in Liverpool, especially with Fekir. I'm still hopeful, guys, over that. I'm not going to lie. I'm still a little bit hopeful over Fekir. I probably shouldn't be. I'm setting myself up for a fall, but I'm still a little bit hopeful. Farrell said, "Oh, I'm late to the game. How long have you been on?" "Only a couple of minutes, mate. Literally just on a few minutes, so you're not too late. But thank you so much again for coming back." Evan Guest said, "Craig, can anybody add the Fantasy League code to the chat feed? Like you, I have my team prep, but probably shy." Absolutely, Evan. I'll do it now, mate. Just bear with me 2 seconds, buddy. I'll get the code up, and I will stick it in the chat for you. Of course, always a pleasure. Just give me 2 seconds to get the code up. Okay, stick it in the chat now. Just give me 1 sec. So, anybody else wants to join in? This league, of course, is open to all our subscribers and people that watch our stuff. So please do join in. I'm going to put it in the chat now. So FPL code. Okay, so it's in the chat now, guys. If anybody wants to join, it's on the Premier League, the official Premier League website. It's the official Fantasy Premier League. The app, of course, is available on the Apple Store and on the Android market as well. So have a look on there. I'm sure most of you guys play it already. It's strangely addictive. Strangely addictive. Ben said, "Only me who thinks Nat Phillips can look to push for the first team after pre-season." No, I don't think you're on your own there at all, Ben. He's been excellent, absolutely excellent, as has Jones. He's a big fella as well, isn't he, Nat Phillips? And he didn't look out of place at all in pre-season. I think he's done his career no harm whatsoever, as has Jones. And maybe a few more as well, but those two in particular, I think we're going to see more and more of this season. And by the looks of it, they won't let us down either. They've handled themselves very well. Maverick said, "I thought that was a decent pre-season workout. Well done to the lads." It was, well done to Torino, because I think that was a really good competitive game, and I think Klopp will be over the moon with that one. I think he'd be very, very happy with the performance put in by his own players, but also by Torino. So well done to them. Bellotti, great goal as well. He looked really, really good. You can see why so many teams are after him. He looks a quality centre forward. Farrell said, "I wasn't expecting a live chat after the watch along and post match. Either was I, Farrell, mate, but I decided, we'll jump on. I know I missed so many comments during the watch along, and I felt bad about it, so I wanted to come back on and catch up with you guys as well. People whose comments I may have missed during the game, because trolls and the chat just gets quicker as well, that I just, I knew if I came back on that the regulars would jump back on again, so I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys as well. So I'd probably only stay on for another 40 minutes or so, but it's just my way of saying thank you, I suppose, and apologise for missing so many comments during the game. Jack said, "Really happy with our attacking options: Salah, Mane, Firmino, Shaqiri and Sturridge." How good does Shaqiri look, guys? I mean, I've been blown away. His attitude has looked tremendous. And it's only pre-season, it's early days and all, but he's looked brilliant. He's looked like he loves being at the club. He's so happy to be here. He's always available. He's always got his head up looking for a forward pass. I think he's going to be a pain in teams' arse this season, and he looks like a very good addition to the squad. Our own Gark Mulbridge, the good Gark Mulbridge, says, "The deluded Gark still thinks United will sign Bale from Madrid before the start of the season." Yeah, you're right. He is deluded. You're spot on. You've got that one nailed, because there's no way to sign Bale from Madrid. Not a hope. And where else have we got? "How many goals will Salah get this season?" asks Bailey. It's a really tough question, because obviously instinctively you want to protect him by saying, well, he doesn't have to hit the same numbers he did last year, but he's capable of it. So I'm going to say 34, Bailey. That's my guess. And I think I think Mane will get better numbers as well, although he did great numbers. I think all our forwards are going to get better numbers, but I'm going for 34 for Salah. Let me know what you think in the comments, buddy. Rod said, Rod, did you change your image? You did, to Robin. I just noticed that now. Good morning, everybody. What a time to be a Red. It's a beautiful day, Rod. Beautiful time to be a Red, as you've rightly said. And the countdown really has begun now to the first game of the season. No more games. The next game Liverpool Football Club play will be a Premier League game, and the 18-19 season will have started. It's brilliant. It's so exciting. Wasim said, played well today. I think our midfield needs to be Fabinho, Keita and Shaqiri. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, to be honest. If we were looking to play a little bit more conservatively, then I'd swap Shaqiri for Henderson. But yeah, I like where you're going with that one. I probably, honestly, hand on heart, I think we're going to see Gini Wijnaldum starting. Hand on heart, I think he'll start the first game, but I would not be upset at all if he doesn't start and Shaqiri does, because it would be a great choice either way. Wrigley Mick says, told you he'd step back into the back if needed, Craig. Fabinho looked solid there. Again, yeah, he did. He didn't look out of place at all. And how great is it, Mick, to have players that can play in so many different positions? It's definitely something Klopp looks for in a player, but when you see it put into action, it's great. It helps really full of confidence that if something does happen in a game, we need to tactically shift, drop somebody back, even go to 3 at the back. Definitely seems like it's capable now. Damo said, Cara for penalties after he beat Neville at the penalty challenge. Neville's forfeit is to wear an LFC number 23 Shaqiri shirt. Nice one, Cara, indeed. Gary said, Craig, do you think the Fekir deal could still happen? Call me a mug, Gary, but I do, mate. I do. Call me a romantic as well, but I do think that deal will be done. I've got no reason to believe it, but I think something will be done. And if it is something that looks like it could be Fekir, I say it looks like, it probably doesn't look like it, but it's the only one I can think of. Matthew said, Story, Craigo, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you hoping Sturridge hits 20 plus this season? He's won me over, Matt. The dirty little bastard. I went into the pre-season saying, nah, that's it, finished with Daniel Sturridge, be done. I had too many chances. Every pre-season we do the same thing, but you know what? He's held up, he's banged them in, he's looked happy, he's looked strong. And why not? Why not? A fit Daniel Sturridge can most certainly hit 20 goals this season. I hope he does. I really hope he does, because he's a really likeable guy. And I don't care if it's his last season at Liverpool. If he decides to move on, then so be it. But I think he's been a joy to have around. It's not his fault he hasn't been fit. And if he bangs in 20, brilliant. Far Isle said, Garth Mulbridge, United are like the faded beauty, used to commanding a room, but now competition has proved too tough. The lure isn't there, so she's searching for attention. Oh, no problem, Evan. Sorry, I'm just getting into your comment now about saying thank you for the code. No problem at all. Always a pleasure, buddy. Kill for Heart said, my first year to fantasy EPL, should be fun to do it with you all. It's great fun, mate. Honestly, it is. It's strangely addictive. It is. If you get into it, you're always like fiddling with your team and making changes, and it is good crack, but I'm shit at it, so don't expect much from me. Kieran said, alright Craig, mate, didn't think we'd have another stream. It's just kind of spur of the moment thing, Kieran, mate. Yeah, I was just finishing the podcast. I finished editing it, so I said, you know what, that's uploading there to YouTube, so we'll jump on. It's actually finished there, so we can close it down. Yeah, so it is uploaded there. The podcast is up on the YouTube channel, so when we finish here later on, if you're looking for something else, then jump on there and have a listen to that. By all means, I hope you enjoy it. Brandon said, hi Craig, only on now. Sorry. Never any need to apologise, mate. It's a pleasure and a privilege for you guys to come on and have a chat with us. So don't ever feel like you've got to apologise. It's a joy to have you guys on here every night. So thank you. Don't ever apologise to us. You don't need to. Wrigley Mick said, late bid for Tarkowski on the cards. What would you think of him, Craig? I would have preferred Lascelles, if I'm being honest, and that might be because I've watched Lascelles a little bit more. But people in the know seem to think that Tarkowski's a very good player as well. I wouldn't like to see anything block Joe Gomez's path through, but again, at the same time, I understand anybody who is of the view that they're a bit unsure about his injury record. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other for me. But if we were to bring somebody in, then I would have no issues with it being Tarkowski. What about you, Mick? Would you be happy with Tarkowski, or would you prefer Lascelles, or is there anybody else you had in mind? Wasim said, just read that Pogba said he wants to leave United. Do you blame him though? He hasn't been managed well at all. And I'm definitely somebody of the mindset that the manager has to be the most important person at the club. I do firmly believe that. But I don't think it's an accident that he's alienating so many people. Like, it's not just Pogba. There's a fair few at that club that don't seem to be happy under the manager. So, you know, it gets to the point where you think, which one is more valuable to Manchester United, Jose Mourinho or Paul Pogba? And not just that, you've got Anthony Martial as well. So it's a tough call, but fuck him. You know what, Wasim? You know my answer by now with United. Fuck him. I hope they fall apart. Killer for Horror said, who caught your eye tonight, guys? I thought Genie looked like a new man, and we said the very same thing in the Post-Match Point podcast. Genie Wijnaldum was excellent tonight. I thought Trent was very good as well. Who else looked good for me? I thought Fabinho looked tidy, but Genie would definitely have been my man of the match. I think that's fair enough to say. Jay Kismet said Sturridge and Shaqiri off the bench is an upgrade from last season's bench. It's a massive upgrade. It really is. Imagine your legs are tiring. Liverpool are after battering you for 65-70 minutes. You're just about hanging into the game, and you look to the bench then, and there's Danny Sturridge and Shaqiri just walking up to shaking their shoulders, you know, like this, getting ready to come on, and you're knackered. Your legs are gone, and then you see Shaqiri coming on, and he's not giving you a second. He's harassing you. He's making runs into the channels. He's got his head up. He's picking out Sadio Mane. He's picking out Mo Salah. Beautiful. Beautiful. I cannot wait for it to happen. I cannot wait for defences to be terrorised. We're in for a treat this season, guys. And some of the football we play in and around the opposition 18-yard box, the one-touch stuff, the movement, the runs in behind, it must be a nightmare. An absolute nightmare for defences to deal with. Hugh Tube says, bloody hell, Craig, you put in some hours on here. Do you know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm really trying. I said I did want to come on and say thank you to you guys and apologise for not getting through everyone's comments, but also a part of me can't believe how far we came tonight with the subscriptions. We started off tonight at 2,650 or 60, and we're pushing towards 2,900 now. So I thought, you know what, fuck it, we'll go on, we'll get through some more comments, we'll do our apologies to people for missing out earlier on in the comments, and we'll see if we can push that subscribers over the 2,900. It's probably a big ask, but if you are watching and you're enjoying the stream, please do take a moment and hit that subscribe button and help us grow the channel. We're only going a while, but our growth has been pretty good. People seem to like what we're doing, and we certainly enjoy doing it. So if you want to be part of the solution, as we say, or you want to join the Anfield Agenda family and get to know the guys, please do hit that subscribe button. It makes a tremendous difference to what we do and to the amount of people that we can reach out there and the amount of Reds that we can bring together, because that's what we're trying to do here really at the end of the day, is just bring people together for a chat. Steve said, Fekir decision by Outlast tomorrow at last. Well, Steve, look, you've been my Fekir go-to man all window, so where did this one come from, buddy? Was it something after the game tonight against Chelsea that was mentioned or something? Do please let me know, buddy. Maverick said, too many centre-backs already in the squad, need to let some go before we get anybody new. Well, if we were letting them go, hand on heart, Matip would be top of my list. And I know some people may say get Clavan out, but you know what, I put Matip out ahead of him because at least you can count on Clavan to be fit. Tom Will says, random stream, glad I caught it. I watched the highlight reel of the Torino game and Gini played on another level. Fabinho could have put in some more work, but he's looking strong. The front three are just on fire. Tom, mate, I agree with every single word you wrote there. Even the random stream bit, because it really is just a random stream that I decided to do at the last second. Killer for hire or kill for hire. I always get your name wrong. I always put an in. Kill for hire says, Sunday can't come fast enough. I'm absolutely giddy. Giddy is a nice word. That's probably where I'm feeling as well. I think giddy's a lovely way of describing it. Who scored the third goal tonight? Asks Tony. It was Daniel Sturridge. So Shaqiri picked up the ball, edge of the 18-yard box, maybe a little bit further than the edge. He looked up a couple of times and eventually played a pinpoint perfect pass. He kind of just what's the word, floated one onto the 6-yard box onto Sturridge's head, and he had very little to do, any contact, and it went past the keeper. And you know, Sturridge doesn't miss from 6 yards out. So yeah, it was a great goal and a brilliant bit of vision from Sheridan Shaqiri. Brandon said, do 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 do, Genie Wijnaldum. That song gets stuck in your head. I had my 6-year-old son Lucas was singing that song one day, and I was almost crying with pride. But it is, even it gets stuck in my wife's head if I go around the house singing it, because it's just one of them songs. Louis said, if we don't get Fekir, we should use Shaqiri in the number 10 role. He shouldn't be sitting on the bench with his quality. Still can't believe fans complained about him. He's ramming that opinion down people's throats, isn't he? Or that doubt down people's throats, I should say. Is that Jay-Z lad back again? God almighty, he's worse than me for streams. Oh, Steve reckons the Fekir deal is going through. Steve, I know you've been very pro this deal all the way along, but mate, I hope you're right. I sincerely do. Paddy said, I think Arsenal will get a result this weekend playing against Manchester City. Again, Paddy, I hope you're right. I really do hope you're right. It would be a great boost to us at the start of the season if they can take points off City. Jake said, love the channel. Thank you, Jake. Very kind of you, sir. Great to have you back in. Kieran Moss said, what 3 in the middle are starting on Sunday? You reckon Hendo has a shot? It may come a little bit too early for Hendo, but again, I'm just guessing, of course, Kieran. I think Fabinho and Keita, I think we can say, are maybe nailed on. Then it's a matter of, would it be Genie Wijnaldum or Sheridan Shaqiri? I'd be happy with either, mate, at this point. I think Genie's been very, very good in the last 2 games in pre-season, but then again, Shaqiri gives you that something extra as well. Either or from those two, and I'd be over the moon, mate. But one thing's for certain, whoever Klopp plays, I think we're going to be too strong for West Ham. Well, I hope it. Maybe I'm being a bit arrogant here, but I really do think we have more than enough firepower, especially at home, to beat West Ham. Aaron said Kepa is going to Chelsea. Yep, I did see that one as well. Some ridiculous figure like £70 million or something. Look, Kepa is a good goalkeeper. He's still a young keeper. But here's my thoughts on that transfer. I was talking to Dave about this earlier. So if we look at it like this, guys, Thibaut Courtois, we can all say, is a good goalkeeper. Very good top level goalkeeper. Let's call him an 8.5 out of 10. So if you have Thibaut Courtois and you sell Thibaut Courtois for £33 million, right, so you're plus £33 million and you're minus a goalkeeper. You then go and spend £70 million on Kepa. So let's call Kepa a 7.5 to 8 out of 10 goalkeeper. He may prove to be better than that, but at this moment in time, let's go 7.5 or 8. So you're bringing in a goalkeeper that's possibly on par with your previous keeper, possibly just a fraction underneath. But you've spent £40 million on top of that, and you haven't improved your team in any way, shape or form. But you're after taking away the £40 million that would have been possible to buy another player with, and you haven't improved your first 11. That's where I'm at with this one, so that's why I'm not too worried about Chelsea signing Kepa, because they already had a fantastic goalkeeper and they haven't really changed that. All they've done is spend £40 million that they could have used on another signing. So that makes me happier than if they spent that £40 million on, I don't know, another centre-back or another left-back or wherever the fuck they need. I don't know where Chelsea needs strengthening, but and Courtois had to stay for the season. Hugh said Trent was probably my man of the match. Really surprised at how he's consistently that level at such a young age. Again, I know I just said that we talked about this, but I also spoke about that exact thing with Connor on the podcast tonight. At 19 years of age, to constantly show the composure and the progress that young Trent is doing, it's tremendous. He takes set pieces now, he's taking corners. We've seen him have a crack tonight from 25 yards as well. He's full of confidence. He looks like he's only going to get better and better. I know a lot of us think he could be a possible future Liverpool captain, and why not? But fully agree with you, he is tremendous and he's only going to get better and better, and it's scary that he's only 19 years of age. Maverick said, I can't understand why so many underrate Genie. He can play across so many roles in the midfield, and he was an excellent buy from Klopp. Spot on, Maverick. Agree with you 100%. He can play a deeper role. He can play he can play in number 10 if needs be. He can play in the 8. He can play anywhere in that midfield, even a little bit further forward. So, agree. I think he's been a great buy. A perfect example of a Klopp purchase. Somebody who can play across various roles, and can play well across various roles. Thomas Boland said, we're so close to the promised land. It's for me, mate. I know we often say be thereabouts at Christmas or after Christmas, but I think it's so important that we don't fall behind Manchester City this season. A point or two either way, even 3 points is fine, but we don't want to be falling 5, 6, 7 points behind already. You don't want to be having to make up ground on them. So if we can hit the ground running, if we can pick up points, look, let's be honest, we're going to drop points here or there, but it's consistency is the key, and turning those draws at home into victories. If anyone has a Twitter account, please click on share and spread the word on the chat, said Far Isle. And thank you for that one, buddy. Monkey said, I feel sorry for Lallana. He keeps getting injured and our midfield is so strong. I just don't see where he fits in anymore. Hopefully he can turn it around. Yeah, he was that one player for me this summer that I was saying is right on the fence for me about whether I'd sell him or not, because a fit Adam Lallana can certainly bring a lot to a team, but he's 30 years of age now. He's probably at the point where you might just get another big fee from him if you sold him. So yeah, I'm on the fence with Adam Lallana. I do appreciate his qualities as a footballer, and I don't think I think he's a very good, technically gifted footballer. I just think there might have been an opportunity to sell him. It just might have been the right moment, but it's not my decision, it's Klopp's decision, and Klopp knows best. Rod said, thank you for everything, Craig. You really light up my mornings, and so do all the lads in the chat. Thanks heaps. Rod, mate, it's a pleasure. As I say time and time again, you might be sick of me saying it, but this whole Anfield Agenda thing wouldn't exist if you guys didn't come on here and chat and interact and watch. So when I say we want to grow, I honestly, hand on heart, mean that as we being the fucking group, not just me and Connor. And I want this whole thing to push on and grow, and then we can all say, well, fuck, we were there when we were the first ones in there, we were there at the start. And it will mean a lot to me that we all go forward in this, and we're having this conversation in 2 or 3 years when, I don't know what subs we're at or what listeners we'll have, but I hope it works. I hope the idea that we have behind this works, and the plan to grow it as a community-based thing works. Does AA have a fantasy league? We do, Kieran, for our subscribers on here. So let me put it in the chat again for you. I put it in earlier on, but bear with me. So I'll put the code in now, Kieran, buddy. So it's not now. Anybody else who wants to join as well, of course, I'm putting it into the chat now in 1 second, so feel free to join the fantasy league. We'll figure out a prize or something along the way. Don't worry about that. It's just something we sprung on last second. So there you go. It's in the chat, guys. It's the official Premier League website, if anybody's wondering which one it is. What else is... so just a quick update on the website as well. So Connor's been working really hard on the website in the background. I got a bit of a progress report from him last night. He sent me a video of where he is. It's looking really good, and there's still a bit of a way to go, and even as the season goes on, we're still going to be adding more and more stuff to it, but hopefully we'll have anfieldagenda.com up and running by the end of the weekend, and the member section, as I've said before, will be there. So if you guys want to join, and the reason we started the member section is because it's great having chat with you guys on here, but I understand that different people live in different time zones, and what's convenient for some people to chat may not be convenient for others. Just using Rod as an example, Rod's up now in the morning, so it's, he still has to go to work, has to do his day's work. So if we have the member section of the website and we have the chat room in there and a few other things for members to do, then people can pop in and out of the website at their convenience and interact with people who, it's the same time of the day for them, or it might work for them. So that will be absolutely free, of course. You'll just have to sign up with your email address or password and put in your Yeah, sorry, you'll have to sign up with your email address and put in your own password. And that's it. It'll be free from there. Rod said, I have no idea how Fantasy Premier League works or what it is. Old me. It's basically, Rod, you get X amount of money and you have to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. What is it? 14, 15 players. I think it's 11 outfield players, a sub goalkeeper, and 3 subs. And you have X amount. And from there, it's just a matter of, I suppose the rules are on the website, and I'm probably not the best person to be explaining them because I said I'm fucking shy at it. But it is addictive. It's strangely addictive. Didn't Aldo go to Real Sociedad? He did at one point, absolutely. Actually, something just popped into my head that I have to send to Connor actually while I'm on here. Sorry guys, bear with me 1 second. There's something about the website. Just talking to you guys, it popped into my head and I want to send it to Connor before I forget. I hate dead air. So sorry guys. I'm nearly finished. Okay. Okay, sorry. Just had to send that to Connor. Apologies for leaving the stream for a second. Klopp looks terrible on FIFA, said Junior. Liverpool fans said can't wait for the website to be up. So the website, just to give you a kind of flavour about what will be on there, you'll have all embedded players. So you'll be able to go onto the website and listen to the podcast straight from the website. You'll be able to watch the YouTube content straight from the website. You'll be able to, I think we may have a merchandise shop on there at some point. I'm not actually sure where he is on that one. You'll be able to go on there to the chat rooms and interact with Reds. You'll be able to send us questions if you have anything to ask us, or you'll be able to suggest things, of course, if you want to do that. And we're working on something else that I can't really talk about now because I don't want to give the game away, and I don't want to have anybody else nick the idea, if I'm being honest, because it's a pretty fucking awesome idea from Connor. But we're working on something else there for you as well. So yeah, everything will be under one roof. Everything will be easy. You just click on a button, be able to hear the pods, subscribe to the pods. Well, it's just to give you guys ease of access really, and to give everybody a forum when we're not on here. If of course you want to go on there and chat to other Reds. Because if you're like me and you like Twitter, and I do love Twitter, but at times I go onto Twitter and I think, Jesus Christ, this is negative. And some of the trolling on Twitter is fucking atrocious as well. But some of the negativity on there, particularly after a loss or something, it can be hard to take at times. So I was thinking maybe if we had this community where we can go and, you know, we can talk to people who are sane most of the time, and we can talk about the actual reasons for being disappointed and stuff, and not just call everybody cunts and tell them all to leave our club and, you know, fuck this, fuck that. You know, we can come on and have a rational conversation. That to me would be much more appealing than going onto Twitter and having to leave 5 minutes later because it's just full of negativity. Steve said, as soon as the deal is accelerated, the news will flow as usual. Tom said, if you could sign anybody from anywhere, realistically, who would it be and why? Christian Pulisic, because I think he's a perfect fit for Liverpool. I've been saying that for a while. It's probably not as sexy as a few other players we could think of, but the answer would have been a goalkeeper until we got Alisson in. So yeah, as we are Pulisic, I just love to have him at the club. Fakir Wednesday, says Aaron Lennon. Who's more likely to leave, Ings or Origi, or both? I'd rather we got rid of both because I don't think either have a future. But actually, I just don't think either have a future. So there's not even a but there. From the Pool 41 said we should bid for Harry Maguire, which will end up winding up the Manx, so much that they'll outbid us and waste 80 or 90 million on another overrated player. I've often said that before. I don't understand why there's not an awful lot of disruption from clubs to each other. So for instance, let's say United go in and bid for Harry Kane just to piss off Spurs and try and unsettle them, even if they've no intention of buying him. I mean, I don't think there's enough of that goes on. Louis said, I hope Liverpool react like they did the Alisson deal and get him signed up. Again, I hope so as well. I really do. I really want Fekir to come in at this point. I feel like a greedy shit saying that because we've had such a good summer. Scotty says, "Yo Craig, how's it going, bud? Cracking result tonight. The lads did really well. Roll on Sunday." Again, I agree with everything you've said. It was a great performance. I thought Torino put up a good fight as well. I thought they came to play. I was really blown away by the gesture after the game to the kids with the scarves and the footballs and stuff. I mean, that's what these pre-season games should be all about. Getting the next generation of Reds ready to go and making them fall in love with the game and the club. Junior would rather Leon Bailey. Sula would be my pick for Kieran. He's a beast. It's such a shame that he only signed for Real Madrid, or not Real Madrid, Bayern Munich last summer, because he would have been a good fit. Alright, he's a great centre back and a monster of a fella. Craig, new Mane contract or Fekir, please answer. I think definitely the Mane contract will happen. I'm 100% certain that that's going to be done. If not, it's probably already signed, but I think that's definitely going to happen. Fekir, you know what, I'm still hopeful. Call me an optimist, Joseph, mate, but I think that one happens. Steve seems to be much more confident than me that the Fekir deal happens, but you know what, I hope Steve's right because I really would love to have him at the club. Chris Carlson said, "Why did Ings play today?" Possibly to put himself in the shop window, mate. Although how good of a job he actually done doing that, I don't know. But yeah, maybe it is just to show clubs that he's fit, available and ready to go. Guys, can somebody help me out and let me know where we're at with the subs at this moment in time? If you wouldn't mind, if somebody could just put it in the chat. If you are watching, as I say all the time, welcome to the channel. I hope you're enjoying it. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. It means a lot to us, helps us grow the channel. If you could also give us a thumbs up, that would be great as well, because that helps us get suggested to other Reds and helps get the stream and the channel out there. So if you are watching, please do hit that subscribe button. It's the perfect time to do so with the season just around the corner. Andre says, "Craig, a cheeky £200 million bid for Kevin De Bruyne. He supported LFC as a kid, by the way. He's a beast." 2892 said Liverpool fan. Thank you, mate. He's an absolute beast. He really is. What a player. He can pick a pass better than most players in the Premier League. Do you know who I always wanted at Liverpool and I always thought would have been a really good fit? And that was David Silva. I love the way he plays between the lines and he's almost unmarkable at times. De Bruyne is a different calibre player and a different player altogether. I mean, there's not much he can't do and he's got an amazing shot as well. So I get you with De Bruyne. He'd be a beast at Liverpool. But I always had a soft spot for David Silva and the way he played. He was unmarkable. I just loved him. He could just drift in and out of games. He kind of glides around the pitch as well. He's very, very good footballer. Steve said, "Fekir deal will happen. All parties are keeping it open. Even Klopp isn't saying no. Leon's manager is open. Fekir is open. Johnny Cuntilocks is open." Yambo said, "Just remember 3 years ago we were starting the season off with a squad of Balotelli, Barini, Markovic, Ricky Lambert, and now we can't even find a first team place for Shaqiri." What a change, Yambo. What a change around it's been in those 3 years. For the better, of course, but yeah, it's definitely positive times being a Red. Craig, what do you think if Fekir went to Chelsea knowing he was in our shirt smiling? I've always said if the club decided that they couldn't sign him on medical grounds, then I fully understand it and I back the club's decision. If they think that they could have signed him but they were just trying to renegotiate it, then I'd be really disappointed because he's a player that we probably should have looked to get in and a player we were that close to getting in. So I understand the medical side of it, but if he was to sign for Chelsea, of course a part of me is going to be a bit disappointed that he wasn't a Liverpool player. Zach said, "What about Sturridge? Will he get a place on the team?" Probably not in the first 11 immediately, I mean, but he definitely has something to offer if he's fit. Definitely. He has to be the first sub to come on in the forward line if he's fit. He has to be. Shaqiri obviously can play a little bit deeper as well, but of course he can play in any of the front three positions. But you know, put Sturridge in front of the goal, he puts the ball away. That's just what he does. He's such a natural finisher. Joseph says that Liverpool fans were outsung tonight by a few Torino fans. I couldn't hear the game because obviously with live streaming and watch along on YouTube, I have to have the TV down low so I don't automatically have the sound coming into the stream, which would be copyright infringement, which could get us into trouble. So I always have to have the sound down really low. So I didn't even get to hear the fans. Did you notice that Alisson had number 13 and Carriers had number 1? I think, yeah, I did. I mentioned that during the stream. I said the exact same thing. When do the squad numbers have to be into the Premier League? Does anybody know? Because I've been asking this question all week and I've yet to find an answer on it. Fakir won't downgrade from the Champions League, according to Steve. Ant said, Craig thought Curtis Jones did well again. Surprised if on the bench. I wouldn't be surprised if he was on the bench on Sunday. And him and Nate Phillips, both of them have had a cracking pre-season. And they've both done their careers at Liverpool the world of good. And like you, they absolutely deserve a place in and around this first team. And I'd have no issue seeing them coming on. It wouldn't worry me in the slightest. Jason said I'm leaving because my comment hasn't been read out. Okay, see you, Jason. It wasn't not done on purpose, mate, but your prerogative, mate. Adios. Adam said, love how times have changed from signing Jovetic and Hodgson's boss to challenge for cups and titles. Also great stream as always. Thank you, Adam, mate. And I don't even want to think about Roy Hodgson, the emu. I mean, Jesus Christ, they were dark days, weren't they? Depressing stuff. Andre said, I feel sorry for Fabinho missing his penalty, but how nice was it to see his teammates go straight up to him and put an arm around the shoulder and, tell him everything. Don't worry about it. It's only a pre-season friendly, mate. It's grand. And also, his head didn't drop during the game, which was a great sign for me as well. I was keeping an eye on him just to make sure, but he kept showing for the ball. He kept getting into position. He kept passing the ball. He kept moving. It didn't get him down one bit. Scott said De Bruyne's favourite player was Michael Owen when he was younger. True story. I'd well believe it. I mean, look, loads of people looked up to Michael Owen when they were kids because he was shit hot at the time. Tristan said, do you think we can challenge for the title of the Champions League? Yes, and yes, mate. 100% to both. Obviously, it's a big ask for both. And I want the Premier League more than I want the Champions League, but yeah, we're certainly capable. I mean, who's going to want to draw us in Europe? We can beat anybody on our day. With the league, it's just going to be about consistency and trying to turn some of the draws at home into wins. But absolutely, buddy, I think we can certainly compete. I hope so, anyway. Andre said his name is Milan Jovanovic. Yeah, it was depressing times. I hope hope he signed Kloppo up to a lifetime contract. I can't see myself loving a coach more than I love him. He's perfect for us, said Kill for Hire. Agree, love him, want him to stay forever. And like you, can't imagine ever feeling the same way about another manager. Although I love Rafa as well. I really, really loved Rafa, but everything about this is amazing. The style of football, the feeling amongst the fans, the way the players look, everything. The whole club is going in the right direction. It's brilliant to see. Do you think we will sign Neves? Said Dennis Smith. I don't, mate. We were linked with him very strongly. More so a couple of years back, I think, when he first broke through at Porto, but not at the minute. I don't think so. But, never say never. I always doubt when we do Premier League to Premier League transfers, if you get where I'm coming from. It's the price goes up and up and up, and people that want to sell to competitors. And look, I know we've bought a lot of Southampton, but at Wolves now, with the investment they have behind them, the Portuguese links they have there, and obviously George Mendes in there as well, it'll be tough to get him out of there. But, never say never. He's a good footballer. He's got a good career ahead of him. Zach Norris said, I'm thinking if Liverpool are drawn, then Klopp should bring on Sturridge and Shaqiri at the same time. What are your takes on this? I think I mentioned earlier on, imagine doing that. Like, imagine you're a tiring defender and those boys are warming up on the halfway line and you look at the board going up and these two are coming on. It's going to frighten the shit out of anybody. So absolutely, Zach, I'd love to see it happening, and I think we will see it happening if we're chasing the game particularly. If we have a good season with Wolves, then yes, a junior for Ruben Neves. what do you think about Liverpoolians saying it's a tourist club and the atmosphere is dying? I had a bit of it to do today on Twitter actually around this topic. I came on last night and we spoke about this, and I said to you guys that I think a lot of it stems from the frustration of fans not being able to get tickets. But Jesus, I've had some dogs abuse on there today about being an overseas fan and not going to all the games, and I think people think sometimes that tickets just grow on fucking trees, and people just say to you, well, go to the games, like go to all the games, like we can just go and buy the tickets from the Magic Ticket Fairy. It's a small percentage, I think, but sometimes small percentages are very loud, and I think I love Liverpoolians, so I hate to say anything negative about them at all. But as I said, the small percentage that do seem to have a chip on the shoulder. Just because, here's my argument. I thought of this earlier on. So anybody that says to you, you're not from Liverpool, you've no right supporting the team, fuck off and support somebody where you're from or somebody where you live. Well, my answer to them is quite simple. Do you go to any music concerts? And if the answer is yes, do you go and see Drake, for instance? So if you go and watch Drake, does that mean that like you can't watch Drake? You're not Canadian. Only Canadians can go and watch Drake, and you can't love Drake. You possibly can't love Drake's music because you don't get it because you're not Canadian. So it's the same fucking thing for me. The reason that you fall in love with a club, a singer, whatever it may be, or the style of music is because it touches you and it affects you and it makes you feel something. So if Liverpool Football Club makes you feel the way it makes me feel and the way it makes so many other people feel, then fuck them. Nobody can tell you how you feel. Nobody can tell you you've no right to support the club. Because I guarantee you all these pricks are contradicting themselves left, right and centre. They're the first ones to say, they'd be the first ones to say it's our fault. And as I said, I love Liverpoolians, and this is a very small minority because most of them are the most welcoming people in the world. But fuck them. They're all hypocrites that say this because, as I said, they support music acts from outside of Liverpool. I guarantee you they don't just go and watch Liverpoolian musicians. I guarantee you that they go and listen to fucking Drake, The Killers, fucking U2, whoever it is. Which makes them a fucking hypocrite because they love that music for the very same reason that you love Liverpool Football Club. It touches something in your soul and makes you feel part of something. And that's what supporting Liverpool has been about to me. So for anybody to tell you, me, an American fan, an Australian fan, whoever the fuck it might be, that we've no right to follow a club, fuck you is my answer to them. Just because you fell out of your mother's vagina in an L postcode does not give you the right to tell me, John, Paul, Stephen, Mark, whoever the fuck it is, that they've no right to support this football club and that we can't have an affinity with this football club and that we've no right to go to games. Fuck you. The compassion or the passion shown by other fans from America, Canada, Ireland, Norway to attend these games, the things they go through to get to games, the things they go through to watch games. These fuckers couldn't imagine doing these things. The fans that go up and down the country following the Reds are brilliant. They're fucking amazing, and I really do admire what they do. But these fuckers that think that we've no right to support the club, and I keep having to say this, very small minority, 99% of Liverpoolians and Liverpool fans are A1, lovely people. But you guys know, sometimes the minority are fucking loud, and these pricks have no right to tell us, or anybody else, how they should feel, or can feel, about a football club. Tarish said, hello from South Africa, Craig. Is there any area of the squad which gives you cause for concern with giving the league a proper go? Not really, Tarish. It's a nice position to be in. I would like us to strengthen our attacking options by maybe one more. The Fekir is the one, to be honest, mate. Fekir is the position the player and the position that I think we need. I understand anybody who thinks we may need a centre back, but I understand as well that Klopp will just want to block the path for Joe Gomez. But I think we're in a great position, mate. I think we're the strongest we've been in a very, very long time. Tristan said, who will be played at right back versus West Ham, Trent or Klein? I'm saying Trent anyway. Definitely think Trent. I can't imagine Klein ever dislodging Trent again. I think that position is Trent's now if he's fit. I do love Trent. I have to say I do love Trent. What else? Rod said, how about the AA mobile app with special features like infrasound to deter garks, attract beautiful women and prevent back injuries? I'm not going to lie, I have thought about an Anfield Agenda app. It's definitely crossed my mind. Obviously, my technical knowledge being zero, it's something I'd have to look into and see, obviously, about the cost to get it made. Do I know anybody that could help me out? All the things like that. How much of a Connor could do, perhaps. But yeah, definitely an app is certainly the direction we want to go in. An app, a website, have everything under one banner. It will be A1. But you know, a lot of it's down to finances. A lot of it's down to pulling in favours, or who knows what to do and who has the technical knowledge, because I certainly don't. Kieran said, Craig, it's going to be mad when they announce Mane's new contract on deadline day to wind up fans and then announce Fekir a few hours later. That would be fucking mental. That would definitely cause a reaction. I think that would be like happy overload, Kieran, on the Liverpool site and Liverpool Twitter as well. Haven't seen much of Cody. What's your take on him? As in Connor Cody, the former Liverpool player. He's done very well to go and rebuild his career. Didn't work out from a Liverpool, gone to Wolves captain, which is brilliant. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on in the Premier League. It's always great to see somebody that doesn't quite make it at Liverpool go and rebuild a career, and he certainly has kept digging away, and he's got himself to a very high level. In their prime, which one would you rather have out of Gerrard, Suarez, Torres, or Salah? It's a really tough answer for me, this, between Gerrard and Suarez. Instinctively I go to say Gerrard, but both can have a major impact on a game. Yeah, I'm probably going to lean towards Stevie G, if I'm being honest. Is it your birthday, Rod? Is that why you're putting up a cake? I mean, if it is your birthday, then happy birthday. Seriously, happy birthday, my friend. Although I don't know if you're just putting up a picture of a cake because you're hungry, or maybe it's somebody else's birthday that I missed. Thomas said, saw Nate Phillips in New York in a game versus City. So impressed with him, especially after his mistake. His recovery speed is deadly. He had class. I have to be honest and say, before pre-season, I had very little knowledge of Nathaniel Phillips. Very little knowledge, but from watching him in pre-season, you can see why he was given the chance. He hasn't let anybody down. Steve said, the thing I've noticed about the press in this transfer window is how wrong they've been. And they have. They absolutely have. A lot of people have been clutching at straws and guessing. But I don't think anybody I don't accuse anybody of intentionally leading people astray, particularly when we're talking about the James Pearces, Melissa Reddy, Chris Bascom's, David Maddock. I don't think any of those guys are intentionally leading people astray. Andre said, Joseph, nope, that's not to me. Vinny asks, how do you think Juve are going to do this season? I think they'll win the league like they do every year, mate. Napoli were at their strongest last year and probably were in the best position to challenge Juventus, but with Juventus bringing in Chan, Cristiano Ronaldo, and having Pjanic there as well, and look, they've offloaded Higuain obviously to AC Milan on loan, but I don't know. I'd be interested to see how they get on in Europe. That's what I'm really interested to see. I think it's almost a gimme at this point that they'll win Serie A. But how they get on in Europe will be interesting to see. And I honestly don't know how they will. Do you think they will extend any other bit of the stadium, asks Dennis Smith. Hopefully, the obvious answer is hopefully the Annie Road end. Something does need to be done to increase the capacity. And when we have outline planning permission, it would seem a shame if it didn't work out. I don't want to be critical of the owners because I think they've done a lot. The main stand is magnificent. The training ground that they're building to bring Klopp's vision of having the first team and the under-23s together is amazing. The infrastructure that they put in and around Anfield is amazing. So I hate to be critical, but yes, there probably is. Once the planning permission is there, I do hope they go ahead and extend it. But after that, I would honestly have no idea what would be the best way to go forward, and I imagine that it would involve a lot of work to go past that, particularly if you're looking towards the COP or something. Ant says, Craig, ignore the abuse, knobheads. Get them everywhere. Scousers are similar to Irish people. The friendliest about small minorities don't represent us at all. And mate, exactly as you've said, I found Scousers to be very similar to Irish, particularly with their sense of humour. I have a fucked up sense of humour, but the strangest things make me laugh. But I've also been said to have a dry sense of humour, and I find a lot of Scousers have a similar sense of humour. And I've had great times over in Liverpool. I love the city, even if I'm not going over for a game. I love to go over to Liverpool because it's an amazing place. Cop Idle is in. Good evening, sir. How are you? Joseph said, I think they're looking to do something with the Annie Road ends. Time clock on the screen, said Eric Worry. I've no idea. What do you mean there, sir? I honestly haven't got a clue. Kieran Moss said, I can never get tickets, but I'll watch the game any way I can. I hate when people say support your local club, says Prez Firmino. And Dico said, Craig, there's a week to go before the season starts. Need to start a non-debate, nothing to talk about. Yes, it is getting tough to come on here every night and talk about things. Like, I'm struggling to come up with new topics or new phrases that I put on the stream and stuff. So it is tough, but look, yeah, a week to go, as you said, Aunt, maybe before the season starts, and then we can really get stuck into it. Pepper Red said, good morning, Craig, and good morning everybody else. Good morning, sir. And Monkey said, yes, Craig, preach, brother. The Raptor said, it was one guy who piped up about cunts buying tickets and he couldn't get one. Complete overreaction, and it's gotten far too much mileage out of it. Joseph said, all the Irish football is not the best of quality, and the Irish football is not the best of quality. It ain't great. It really ain't great. It's improved. And Cork City and Dundalk can play some really good football, but there's a long way to go, absolutely. And Thomas Bowden said, well said, Craig, thank you, mate. Dennis Smith said, sorry that isn't relevant and I'm kind of going off track about Liverpool, but where do you think Wolves will finish in the Premier League? Top 10, I'd say, Dennis. Somewhere between 7 and 10. Well, 7, 8, 9, 10 then, really. Somewhere in and around that, I think. They've built a good squad, and there's no danger of them going down anyway. Prez Firmino said, I'm from Germany, would I support Liverpool? Does that mean I have no right to? Of course, mate, you've every right to support whoever you want. Fuck the haters, fuck them. And said, please don't explain yourself, Craig. Small-minded bellends who let us Scousers down. Rod said, my daughter and I tried to get LFC tickets and were surprised to get none. In Berlin, we just rocked up and bought 2 at the gate. Weird. Yeah, it's tough. And success is... one of the byproducts of success, of course, is that the tickets become harder and harder to get because Liverpool become more popular. The more you win, the more people want to go and watch and be entertained. So, the more successful we become, the harder it's going to be for everybody to get tickets. Steve says Fekir wants Liverpool wants Fekir. Steve, I love the way you're not letting this go, mate. I'm fully on board with this one. Absolutely on board with this. Me and you, Steve, we'll carry this Fekir thing on right till the end, buddy. Joseph said, we talked about Wolves the other night and a lot of Red said mid-table, which is exactly where I am, but I think higher mid-table. Kieran said, Craig, have you seen the latest Gark video on Twitter with the kid? I haven't, no. The last thing I've seen about Garky Pants is the one where he's pretending to have a knife pulled on him on holidays, which clearly he isn't. But no, I haven't seen it. I don't really watch Gark too much. I only see it if it pops up on my timeline on Twitter. I definitely don't go out of my way to watch El Garky Pants because I feel a mixture of anger and sorrow when I watch him on streams. Anger because he talks so much shit, and sorrow because he's him. Andrade said, I'm from Serbia, supported LFC since I was 7. I love this club so much and follow it through thick and thin. People have no argument and want to feel superior by saying you have to support your local club. I agree, but I must stress I think it's a very small minority. But as I often say, the fucking those who have the least to say shout the loudest. To get over Fekir, Liverpool have to win the league, said Wasim. I love it. Why not? If we don't get him, just go and win the league out of spite. Pepper Red said Fekir's knee wants fixing first. It would be weird, wouldn't it, if that was the case? If they got a rebuild and then we went back in and bought them. Blue Tick Gaming said, we need to get real result now against West Ham. 100%, mate. It's all about Sunday. Have to hit the ground running. Have to give West Ham a hiding. Have to get the 3 points on the board. And let fucking people know. Lay down a marker. And let everybody else know that the Reds are mean business this season. Monkey said sometimes the minority is fucking loud. Which is true. Well, I think it's true anyway. Prez Firmino said, every time they say support your local club, who the fuck wants to support Wiesbaden FC? I don't even know who they are, Prez, if I'm being honest. Joseph said, no Dennis, don't be sorry, as Craig would say. Good point. Who's your favourite LFC player and why? Asked Adam Pickett. If it's of all time, it's Robbie Fowler, because he's just the most naturally gifted goal scorer I've ever seen and is amazing. If it's now, it's Bobby Firmino, because, I mean, it's Bobby. I mean, who doesn't love Bobby? Bobby does everything. I love Bobby. Love everything about him. Love the swagger he has. Love to know what goals, of course. Love his attitude. Love that he fucking never gives up and just harasses and fucking pisses off every defender that comes near him. Love the game intelligence that he has. Love his social media game. Yeah, it's just Bobby. I love Bobby. Break Fakir's knee again, then let the surgeon sort it out, says Pepper Red. Right guys, I am going to do a few more minutes. I've already passed by what I said I was going to do, but look, if you're watching the stream and you're enjoying it, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. We've set ourselves a target of hitting 3,000 subscribers before the season starts. What have we got now? 5 days to go, something like that. If you're watching it, you are enjoying it, you're looking at the chat and you're thinking, do you know what, these are my kind of people, then please do hit that subscribe button. If we can hit this 3,000, it will mean the world to me in particular, and I know to everybody else involved, and to a lot of the guys in the chat here as well. So if you can, please do hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up as well, and become part of the solution. Although Connor's working on finding out what the problem is. He thinks he's close, but we're working on it. Don't get me wrong, I support my local team, got to a couple of games here and there, but I truly support LFC. You never have to explain yourself on here, mate. We're all Reds. We all love the club. But no matter where you're from, we all love the club. American, Canadian, Irish, Australian, New Zealand, France, Germany, Belgium, Holland, wherever it might be. We all love the club. The club brings us all together. Zach said, do you think Virgil van Dijk will be offered the captain's armband soon? Because I think Henderson isn't good enough. No, is my answer to that. I understand that some people don't think Jordan Henderson is good enough. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. I would say that being the captain is a lot more than just wearing the armband on the field. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, charity work, stuff for the foundation, stuff, media duties, stuff like that, and I think Jordan Henderson does a magnificent job doing that. I understand people wanting Van Dijk to be captain, but dude's a leader anyway. He's a leader on the pitch, of course he is. He's Van Dijk, he's like a fucking Rolls Royce of a man. But I like Henderson as captain. I think he's doing a good job. He may not play all the time, I'm perfectly aware of that one, but I do like him as captain. Teo said, Liverpool is a global club. We are Liverpool, absolutely, 100%. Very well, very good point, well made. Andrew said, I like my local club. It's sad to see how greedy people treat football here and there. You can support our clubs, it isn't supporting. But that isn't supporting. Football is a beautiful game. It's just dreadful and hard to swallow. Wasim said, rumours are Klopp has said they're going to make a bid for Fekir. Stop teasing me, Wasim, mate. Oh, Fekir, yes, Fekir. Come on, Fekir. Steve saying, Liverpool newspapers as such, Pierce, Reddy and Joyce have been quiet. Rod said, my local club is 400 kilometres away. Jeez, that is a hike, Rod, to be fair, mate. You're not getting the number 7 bus to that game anyway. Klopp has said, we'll see after tonight's game, said Steve. Aaron said, Fekir is over, get over it. I don't think really, mate, you have the right to tell anybody to get over anything. If people want to believe something or think something may happen, then leave them to it. If it doesn't work out, then that's it. But you know, I think ramming your opinion on somebody's throat on here or getting angry capitals is a little bit too much. Local clubs are what makes this game so special that we have to support them, said Thomas Boland. And absolutely, grassroots football is vitally important. Without grassroots football, the kids wouldn't come through, the development wouldn't be there. And yeah, absolutely, I fully agree. I mean, I love that whole idea behind non-league day and stuff like that, where everybody goes to a game and things like that, because, you know, football is football. If you like football, you'll enjoy football at pretty much any level. Doesn't mean you have to go week in, week out, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with dropping into your local club. Why not? You're part of that community as well, so why not? Liverpool will get Fekir, said David. Craig, what do you think about Stan Kroenke fully owning Arsenal? I'm trying to read up a little bit more on that, Kieran, excuse me. Yeah, I'm trying to read out a little bit more. From what I can gather, Arsenal fans aren't too impressed about it. I don't know much about Stan Kroenke outside of, you know, his Arsenal connection. Usmanov tried to buy the club. I think he owned 30% or something like that. Wasn't he the guy who... Did he loan money, or he's good mates with the guy that owns Everton? But yeah, I know very little about it, Kieran, but I am trying to read up because it's an interesting situation. I would like to know more about it. Where else are we? Fekir is only over after Thursday, said Eric. Hey Craig, about brown chicken, that is the colour it is in South America. In places like Europe, they breed it to be white, and South American chicken is delicious. Interesting point, Dee, thank you. I think the point that they were trying to make, where I was talking about, and I gather you're talking about the podcast where we spoke about foods and stuff, and it was Swiss Chalet was the name of the restaurant I was in. And I think what they meant between brown meat and white meat was leg meat, I think. And you're right, that brown meat is tasty as fuck. It's delicious. And thank you for teaching me about the difference of South American chicken and European chicken. But yeah, at the time it was definitely a shock to me. But yeah, thank you for your comment. And it was delicious. I had the sandwich anyway and it was delicious. James Painter said, is it true that Lyon are trying to get £60 million for Fekir when it was 53 earlier? There'd be no justification of the price rising anyway, would there? But look, they're free to ask what they want. He's their player. Sorry, trying to catch back up. El Chapo has headed off. Say goodnight, everybody. Kieran thinks that when Milner leaves, we should give the number 7 shirt to Oxlade-Chamberlain, which is a really good idea, to be fair. I think he'd be a great number 7. Sorry guys, if I've missed your comment, I apologise. I'm trying to get back through as many of them as I can. What's the best seats you've ever had at Anfield, said Brandon Kelly. I've had a couple of good ones. I've been 2 rows behind the dugouts before. My favourite ones were always in the paddock. I've really liked sitting in the paddock for some reason. Steve said the Gark video was hilarious. Some kid runs past and said Goldbridge are rubbish or something like that. Don't watch Gark in 3D. He looks like he's trying to bite. Right, I'm gonna try and get through as many of these as I can. I used to sell pools for the club to get tickets, never sold one, bought them every week for 6 seasons, 21 quid a week just to get a home ticket and bump myself up the season ticket waiting list. I think we had this conversation before. I think you were telling me about this one before, Cap Idol, mate. Yeah, I'm sure we had this conversation before. And that is interesting. And look, it's just more dedication to the club, as you said, to try and get some tickets. If those away tickets are still on offer at some point this season, mate, then I will bite your hand off to go to an away game. I'd love to jump on the bus with you guys and attend an away game. Blue Tick Gaming says, how is the city itself alone? Because my brother told me it's in the top 10 worst place for crime. Is it true? Liverpool? It's a fucking brilliant city. Oh my god, I've no idea the crime stats. Honestly, I haven't got a clue, I couldn't tell you. But all I can tell you is my experience of visiting Liverpool. It's an amazing city, beautiful. I'd say it's a small city. Everything is compact enough that you can visit it all. Beautiful architecture, beautiful waterfront, great shopping, great pubs, great restaurants. Obviously the Reds are there. If you're into the Beatles, you've got all that side of things. Beautiful museums. It's just an amazing city to visit. I honestly couldn't recommend it highly enough. And being worried about crime wouldn't enter my head one bit. I've never had a second's trouble there. I can only sing the praises of Liverpool as a city to go and visit. Pepperhead said, if Garrick's attacker was a pineapple vendor, then of course he would have a blade. A few fingers missing, so staged. Kieran said, well, oh, I already read that one. I have read that one. Dennis said, I'm going to watch your live stream, and every time it's on, you're encouraging me to make my own Wolves one. Mate, do. Why not? Thank you for your lovely comment. But yeah, reach out, mate. Make your Wolves stream, and I'm sure people will be there to help. And like, I've had amazing help on here. But yeah, absolutely, mate. Do it. Bite the bullet and do it. And let us know if you do. Please do let us know if you do. And thank you for joining into the stream. Kill for Hire said, thanks for doing this so consistently, Craig. These streams truly make my night. I look forward to it every day. It's a pleasure, mate. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really nervous about the whole YouTube monetization thing. We can reapply again in the next week or so, I think. I'm really nervous. I'm really worried that they'll refuse us again for a reason that we don't understand. If it goes through, then this whole thing is perfect and we're good to go. But if they do refuse us that monetization again in a week's time, then I'm worried. Let's just put it that way. I'm worried about what to do going forward. But we'll cross the bridge when we come to it. If it ends up that the fucking whole thing comes off the rails, then not much we can do about it. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't. Rod said, I tried to get into watching Perth Glory and it didn't work out. The quality of the game is boring crap and they probably promote themselves as the best. And that's what I can't stand. El Chapo saying good night sir. If I missed you earlier on, if you're gone through already, I do apologise, but good night, buddy. Antico said, the problem, Craig, is many mank scum fans in the world. Diet Chav are the solution. Anfield Agenda and Diet Chav, absolutely. And together, Anfield Agenda and Diet Chav, it's like, you know, it's like a scum kryptonite. Thomas is off as well. Do you know what? I'm going to head off myself in a couple of minutes. I've gone on half an hour longer than I said I was going to. Last count, guys. Can somebody just give me a sub number? Did we even hit 2.9? Did we hit 2.9? If you're watching it and you haven't yet hit the subscribe button, please do. I'm going to finish up now in a minute. Thank you to everyone again. This has been a bit of a reactionary stream. Just jumping on to, again, talk about the game and catch up with the people I might not have got a chance to catch up with earlier on. So thank you to everybody who's joined into the stream. If I've missed your comments, I sincerely apologise. It wasn't done on purpose. I try to get through as many as I can. Is there any more I can get through before I finish up? But as I said, if you are watching, you haven't yet subscribed, please take a minute to do so. It's only a click of the button. Pretty simple, straightforward, and it really does help. Where's Joe's question? I'm hoping to get over next year. I'd love to see lads. My brother said the kids' football standards are shit. It's about 9th, says Kieran. Scum, Chester and London are both higher. I see there's a lot of people there much more qualified to tell you about the stats than I am. All I can do, as I said, is give you my opinion of the city, and it's amazing. Blue Tick Gaming says, supported Liverpool for a long time, don't have the time to go out to see and visit the city and visit Anfield one day. Does not matter where you support Liverpool from, and I agree absolutely. D said, thanks for the content, thanks for responding to comments, good luck with the YouTube people, positive thoughts. Thank you, D. Very kind of you as well to let me know about the chicken, and I sincerely mean that. And thank you for joining in the streams, it's always a pleasure. 2,892, said Dennis Smith. We came close. We gave it our best shot. We'll get there. We've 5 days to go. We will get them subs. We'll get to 3k. Rocco said, liked and subscribed. You're a legend, sir. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. And Damo said, I had been wondering about the brown chicken. Thanks for the info, D. So it wasn't just me. Well done, D. You've helped a few of us out on here tonight. Brandon saying good night. A lot of people saying cheers to Rod. Forza Catania, Forza Liverpool, said Giuseppe. Was Keita or Fabinho better addition to the squad? Oh, it's Keita for me, mate. I love Keita. Both great additions, but I think Naby's going to tear shit up this year in the Premier League. Adam said, "Night Craig, great stream as always, mate." Thank you, Adam, and thank you for joining in. Dennis said, "Will you be live tomorrow?" Absolutely, buddy. About 9:30, 9:45 UK time tomorrow, we will most certainly be live again. I'm hoping to have one of the guys on with me tomorrow, but leave that one with me. I don't want to promise you something I don't deliver. But yes, 100% we'll be live tomorrow, and I hope you guys can join us. I'm going to head off and get some rest because I've been on the go since 6:30, so almost over 6 hours now actually I've been on doing content. So again, guys, thank you so much. If you're watching this back on playback later on, thank you for watching the stream. Take a minute to hit that subscribe button. To all you amazing people that join me night after night, honestly, thank you so much. You're absolute legends. And we will chat to you tomorrow. Up the motherfucking Reds.